What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a very special match. This is going to be the finals of the regionals that just happened yesterday in Arlington, Texas, hosted by Play TCG. Now, this is going to be between a deck that I don't think a lot of people are going to expect, with Beelstarmon on the left, and then on the right we will be having MetalGarurumonX, the deck that is still probably one of, if not the best deck in the format, definitely not going anywhere. Didn't get hit by the restricted list either, so still going to be pretty strong going forward. Now, there is going to be a little bit of glare in the raising area for the Melga, as I'm sure you saw a little bit there. I tried to find the table with the least amount of glare, but with how bright the lights were, it was a little bit hard to find a spot with no glare, but still going to be good enough to be able to get the match out here. So starting off with that Kyoshiro, and then on the other end, going with that Gabu X antibody, gonna find the Garuru X, so we can just go ahead and put that straight into raising. Don't have a Cool Boy out or anything, so don't necessarily need to continue to get resources off of it, or keep it in raising and wait for later. This helps build up into Garurumon here, so that is good to have back in raising. You do want to be going for early aggression versus this deck, but we are going to be playing versus a deck that has a lot of security bombs. We're having things like Fly Bullets, maybe even Trump Swords. We see Kakaitis Breath coming out. All of these could be very detrimental to hit insecurity for Melga, because you're just going to have to pretty much restart the stack. And I do believe the Beelstar player did say that they were playing 15 removal cards, so that is a pretty good chance to remove the stack even if you build it back up. But as we can see here, they are playing Sister Mon Blanc, so going to be able to on-play Trash, draw 2, while also being able to set up a body, so a little bit of a pseudo, maybe scatter mode, being able to just get some draw and trash. Not as much as you would want as with something like a scatter mode, but still going to be able to set up a body and get some cycles. So a very interesting tech. Going to hit the Trump Sword on the first swing, and that was what we were talking about. There's a lot of removal that is going to be hit. So Garurumon goes down. Kakaitis Breath, second check. So top 2 checks, both security bombs. Board is cleared. The Kakaitis Breath bouncing back the Gabumon X isn't really that bad because you can get value off of it. So gonna go with the Searcher Gabumon, and now if you want, you can just go with that Gabu X that got bounced back on top just to get cycle and be able to search. So we are going to go for that here. Reveal top 3. Only option is going to be that Garurumon antibody. So that does set you up for your next stack. Of course, if it does live in security, which has been a problem right now, but luckily for the Melga player, they might be able to keep up on aggression and be able to stay ahead a little bit. They are at 4 security to the 3 Musk players' 3 security, and they have a Digimon on board and set up Ice Wall, so they could swing in with their Blanc and their Gazimon, but it would cost them the Ice Wall memory, obviously, and then potentially give them the chance to be able to just swing in with that Gabumon. So gonna add Nailbone back to hand and play Fly Bullet, delete at level 6 or less. So Gabu X gonna go down, and Ice Wall effect now over, but putting the Melga player at 5 memory is still going to be pretty good to build up. You can go ahead and get up to Garurumon while still keeping turn, essentially. And prepping to go into some swings is going to be very beneficial, because you're really just hitting a couple Digimon in security away from being in a spot where you could just win, but no rookie, so not going to be going up in raising. So maybe a potential mistake on that Gabumon that they played before, and then with the Gabu X on top, maybe just wanted to go with 1 to keep a rookie, but going with the Death X, which is going to clear 2 checks off the board, so that does lower some aggression. And just checking out the Kyoshiro, getting that draw. Gonna go down to the EX1 Melga, and I actually think that's fine. Obviously, when they're in the trash, that helps reduce the cost, and they can get it back with something like Calling, but at the moment, if it survives, there's just so much aggression coming out that you kind of need to slow it down. But we do see the Magna X going in trash, coming out of security. Magna X, a card that could actually be decently beneficial in this matchup. Not only would it be able to redirect a lot of these kind of smaller rookie swings that are going in, but it would also give you a source that could recover you 1, giving you an extra security, and then giving you essentially a little bit more defense, but not going to be able to get into that anytime soon. They do see a rookie, so they can build up here and get up into an ultimate, but they will still wouldn't be able to set up that Magna, so that's not going to be completely relevant right now. But Calling getting hit, adding to hand, that's pretty big because of the scatter mode in hand. You're going to be able to get enough 7 cost options / 3 musks and trash to where you're going to be playing Beelstar for pretty cheap, and that Calling is going to be able to add a Beelstar back, because I don't believe I see one in hand. And so being able to get rid of this Death X could be nice if they have, yeah, they could Kakaitis Breath it, which isn't too bad at the moment because you only have 2 things on the board. potentially going to be one. Going to hit the Cool Boy, so finally seeing a Tamer come out right as the turn they will be going into the WarGarurumon Promote and potentially the WarGarurumonX Antibody, and they hit that X Antibody to be able to go into it. So again, they are just a couple Digimon in security away from getting game, but having the security bombs could be pretty rough, so we're gonna have to see how security goes. And now going for the calling, going to delete that scatter mode, but first getting the calling resolve and grabbing Gazi and Psychmon, so not even worrying about the Beelstar, just wanting to rookie rush and get some checks in, which isn't going to be super helpful at the moment with Death X on the board, because if you play them out, they would just get deleted. But we see the Plasma Decadra Launcher going into trash, which is a new BT10 card, which is bounces a Digimon level 6 or higher, so you could return this Death X. You also have Kakaitis Breath to do the same, so looking at the trash to see how many are in there, see how much we're going to reduce this Beelstar by, and you could either play that Plasma Decadra Launcher or Kakaitis Breath and bounce back this Death X, which is what you should do, or your Beelstar will just get deleted. They'll have that extra check, and I don't know how much it matters, so we're just going to go with the Kakaitis Breath, bounce it back, and now going into the opponent's turn at 2, they could gain another memory with that Cool Boy, but going to go with the X Antibody option first, so this looks like a swing, use the effect to Digivolve and Unsuspend, would be able to get the Sec +1, so have a potential chance to go for game right here. We're going to have to see. Going to draw off the WarGarurumon, or the Garurumon Inheritable, and now Digivolving up, Cool Boy, game 1, draw 1, 2 checks. First one is going to be the Plasma Decadra Launcher, which its main effect does bounce level 6 or higher, but its security effect just returns one of your opponent's Digimon to hand, does not activate card's main effect, so that is going to bounce WarGarurumonX back to hand. First check, once again getting cleared, so this security has been nothing but insane, and I don't know what you want to do here. You're going to be getting anything that you play really cleared, and it's going to take 2 more turns for you to be able to hatch, Digivolve, raise, and be able to just go in. So it looks like we're going for Madoki, just trying to fill out that memory. It looks like get another body on board so you can try to swing into that last check, and then passing with that Cool Boy, re-looking at it. And okay, it was probably just the judge asking right there. I thought they were maybe trying to take it back, but I think that was just the judge asking to make sure that they saw what the card was. And they're gonna hit the Davis, which means that Gabumon is gonna be able to swing in and take game 1. But now we are gonna be going on into game 2. 3 Musk going first, just 1 game away from winning this regional, as to where Melga is gonna have to win this game and fight back to a game 3 to try to go in. So has the rookie. That rookie miss that game 1 I think was pretty crucial. I think it put him back a lot. Even if you played the Death X still, but had the rookie in the back, I think that could have been a much different game. It would have been that maybe that one last check that you needed to be able to get through, so that way your next stack would survive, not hit that Decadra Launcher. So gonna start going in, Sistermon Blanc, Kakaitis Breath. So coming out on the other end, we are seeing the 3 Musk player Kakaitis Breath and use the Decadramon Launcher to bounce, but now Kakaitis Breath coming out. So obviously, pretty good card this format. And because of that Gabumon and the Demi-Meramon Inheritable, bouncing back that scatter mode is huge, because if it did survive and you were going in and trashing all those cards, your opponent's discard would be huge. So giant check from Melga right there, and we're gonna have to see how the 3 Musk responds. Just gonna go with a Gabu. We just want to get aggressive. This is a play that Melga could punish pretty easily since they're at 3 memory. That you could go up into the WarGarurumon, you could swing over the Blanc, unsuspend, and then you could go into the WarGarurumonX and bounce back the Gabumon if you like. So could have been something that ended up potentially bad, but we see them with no WarGarurumon, so going with Garuru into Garuru X, and that means that these are probably pretty safe. Unless you want to go over this Sistermon Blanc, then you're going to be getting those checks in, so makes sense to be going for the swing over here and going into the WarGarurumon X, but we don't have WarGarurumon and we don't have X Antibody, so that should not have bounced a Digimon to hand. I think it's semi-inconsequential, but that was definitely not a legal play, because the bottom card is the Gabumon, and then it's the Garuru X, and then the WarGaruru X. That's the stack, so no X Antibody, so we shouldn't have bounced there. If they didn't have a rookie in hand, and then, yeah, because they would have just went into the scatter mode on the field. So a little bit of a misstep there. Unfortunately, the judge not catching that one, but we are just going to have to move on here as this cool boy gets played out, which is going to be able to double hit the Gabu and the X antibody. And we're just going to have to see if that Gabu getting bounced actually matters. Going to hit the Magna X, so we are going to be able to draw 3, trash 2, draw 2, trash 1, and draw 1, trash 1. So lots going on here. We could see that 7 cost piling up and being able to start reduce those Beelstars. Every card pretty much went in there, so that is a very good buff for your late game Beelstars. Just going to play one right now, going up to 6, and going to be able to play the Fly Bullet, delete a level 6 or less, so MetalGarurumonX is going down, and that's not entirely the worst. You're sitting at 6 now, and you have a Garuru X in Raising, and now with the Cool Boy, so really if you can find that WarGarurumon and another WarGarurumon X, you could be cooking. You have a pretty good amount of memory, so there we go. We have the promo Garurumon. We didn't have it that last time because they went into the WarGaru X. So they might have had it, and it was just the misstep of not having that WarGarurumon. But regardless, we're going to have it here now. Going to go with the X antibody. So going to swing, and are they going to be going into the WarGarurumon X antibody, or are they going to go into the MetalGarurumonX X antibody? Going to be WarGarurumon. So we'll go ahead and draw for Digivolve, draw for the Garurumon, and then draw for Cool Boy, and then going to be able to swing 2 checks. First check calling, second check is going to be Trump Sword, which deletes an unsuspended. So since the when attacking effects do activate before security checks, that means it does unsuspend when the X antibodies when attacking effect goes into the WarGarurumon X. And so again, just the security bombs in this deck are insane. I know I said there's 15, but even as somebody who's played a decent amount of security control, 15 options, you usually don't see hits this often. So this deck doing wonders in the finals right now, getting rid of these stacks pretty early. Was able to get the 2 checks in that time, was hitting the calling the first time, and then went down as opposed to just going down the first time, which does put them a little bit lower on security. Only 2 out right now, and so you're going to have to remove these 2 Digimon on board just so they can't go for aggression next turn. But calling, not going to be a problem. Add back the Beelstar and probably a Scatter Mode, I would imagine, or maybe a Gazimon if it's in there. Ooh, actually the Devimon pick. Okay, so again, level 4 lowers could be a little bit dangerous just because they can get bounced by WarGarurumon X antibody, but it is a 1 to Digivolve. Your opponent doesn't have a Memory Tamer, so it could be used as a form to choke them to 1, but it looks like they're just going to go for Beelstar, going to 5, and going to play Gewalt Schwarmer, which is going to delete all the play cost 7 or less, so Madoki and Gabu X are down. Not going to be able to go for swings this turn because you have to build up in Raising. No blue Tamer out, so that means we can't see any potential of something like a hybrid. Doubt that they are playing hybrids in this list, but it's just they have no way to go for attacks this turn, which is very nice. That's giving you a chance to essentially swing with the rookie that you have in the back and the Beelstar, put them down to 0, and then if you have that nut security and you're able to get rid of their next stack, you probably just have this regional. Ooh, Ice Wall. I mean, okay, so that stops them from going for clearing security right now, but the thing is you can swing with Beelstar, put them to 1, and that's really not the worst. I think if you are the 3 Musketeer player, I think you're kind of on the you need security just to kind of go crazy and clear this last stack, and if it does, you are probably good to go. So we're gonna have to see what is in these last 2 security stacks right here. WarGarurumon is most likely going to be promoted here. I think if you don't, you got to do something here, unless you have Kakaitis to bounce back the Beelstar and maybe slow down the aggression a little bit. Other than that, that WarGarurumon's got to come out and you got to go in. So looking at the hand, can't see what's in there from the camera angle, but they are looking at what their options are going to be. I can't remember exactly how many WarGarurumonX we've seen so far, but there has been a couple, at least 2, so running low on those. Wonder if they're playing Sagittarius mode, but doesn't matter. They do have the WarGarurumon antibody in hand, so going to be able to go to 2 on the Cool Boy, and it looks like they're going to Digivolve up into EX1 Melga, so pay for 4, but depending on how many cards are in hand, 4, 8, 12. So now gaining 3, going to go back to 1, which means you have just enough memory to be able to go into MetalGarurumonX antibody and stay at 0. Be able to bounce back the Beelstar, which obviously isn't the best thing that you want to do because they want to keep playing them, but it does remove the aggression for a turn. So Digivolve for 1, unsuspend, and let's see what we hit here. A calling once again, and Kakaitis Breath bounces it to hand. The stack's gone, and Beelstar's in hand. There's another 7 cost option. If you play something, you promote the Gabumon, you swing it. If they play a Digimon out, you're able just to clear with the Beelstar, and I'm not sure what you do here as the Melga player. You are in a decently rough spot no matter what you do. You're gonna have to have just probably Cocytus Breath and Security to even have a chance, but I think what we're probably gonna see is Gabu swing, play Beelstar, and then go into Nailbone, which then can play a block. I don't think Kinkaku promotes in there, so that's not going to matter. Just going to go with Garuru for 4, put them to 4, and that is, I feel like that is dangerous. I would promote the Gabumon here, definitely just swing it in. If it goes down, you get to draw 1, trash 1, which you could put another 7-cost option in there. Reduce the Beelstar by 1 once again. Gonna play it for... it looks like there was 8 in there, so going to be playing it for 4. Going to Fly Bullet to pop it now, and then there's another Beelstar in hand, so I would probably just play it and then go for a Nailbone just to go wide, because your opponent can't go for attacks, but the Psychmon does the same thing. You can't clear either of the Digimon. You can only clear 1 at a time with Cocytus Breath, so the Psychmon play with the Beelstar going to go in a 2-0 win versus MetalGarurumonX with Beelstar to take Arlington Regionals undefeated. So huge congrats to them, and also huge congrats to the Melga player for making it to the finals. That itself is an amazing accomplishment, and they should be very proud of it. But that is going to be it for this regional, as you see people getting very excited and moving around the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.